Hello, everyone. Is my mic working? Yes, my mic is working. Hello, everyone. It is the last week before the final week. We're gonna cast 3 more matches. It's all gonna be Grandmaster, so that should be some good matches, hopefully. But you never know. Joining today is gonna be a wrestler, the wrestler,
Thank you for having me, Nebula. It's always a pleasure.
and Guggy.
Oh, cool. I love Guggy. I hope he shows up.
I
Not
mean, hopefully
today,
he's gonna.
but tomorrow they will, for sure. Anyhow, we have
Uh,
3 exciting matches. What do you guys think about this?
I mean, it's grand. I mean, I already told this before the season even started. This year's SML's Season 1 Grandmaster might be one of the toughest 8-man groups ever assembled in basically any tournament. I may have heard like SCL 6 Platinum was harder, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would challenge this because I don't see many people replacing anyone in this division, and so basically being better. I don't know, just like there's not a lot of people, and everyone is super close to each other, and those matches could go any other way. I don't know what Guggy thinks, but that's my whole thing.
I mean, when Turnip Boy is like a clear last in most people's books, that's just a sign that you don't want to play anyone in that division because they're all good. And I have to agree. It's a very, very tough division.
I mean, we can look at the standings currently as we are. This is gonna be still week 6, guess. So unfortunately, Koopa is the only one dropped out. But looking at the top 5 people currently, like OP Right, Sauerkraut, Nebula, Rob, and Mirek are all within a point of each other. That's basically how tight everyone is at the top there. Maybe Popkin and Turnip Boy are slight underdogs in this division, but even then, they both had really good wins or even good matches, rather, in this division. It's not a clear wash between those. So, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. All of these 3 matches, I'm excited for.
I'm just gonna slightly mention that you mentioned a Pofke underdog, which I don't think has ever been said in any group ever. Including the one with me, OB, Grash, and Pofke, which Pofke lost. He was definitely not an underdog. This is a very, very tough group.
Can you blame me though? Look at the names.
Yeah, I have to agree, but yeah, that is not something you want to hear ever.
I mean, I think we delve into the players a bit more. It's time for the first match, and all of these 3 matches are gonna be exciting. But for me personally, this first one is gonna be the very big clash of styles. It's Nebula versus Rob. So I'm gonna go into the pick and bans quickly. If you want to interject, please do so. So Nebula bans Ballroom and Rob bans Balcony. I think both make a lot of sense. Rob's one of the best venues, but style wise is Ballroom, and Nebula is just so amazing on Balcony that it makes sense to ban it. While Nebula restricts TN, and I'm not sure if I've seen that from him before, and Rob restricts High Rise, which is interesting. Because I imagine that would have been Gallery because Nebula indeed doubled galleries, and I think Nebula is one of the best players on Gallery, along with Sauerkraut, while Rob picks Veranda, doubles Veranda rather, very standard, very I guess sniper focus, which Rob is, and we're gonna round it out with high rise, terrace, courtyard, and TN. So both players pick into the restricts.
Yeah, I mean, Rav is just the most campery player ever. So balcony ban and high restrict is definitely nothing too special. But yeah, and it all makes sense. Yeah,
I mean,
I've got
I don't
nothing
think
to add.
there's not much to say. I think we're gonna go into this match. It's gonna be a ride. I think the most interesting is gonna be the clash of styles between Nebula and Rav. And yeah, let's go into the first game then. It's gonna be Nebula on the spy side on Gallery playing as Queen. Starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Don't look. I know you're disappointed, Guggy.
Yeah,
But
I know. I've already seen. I I mean, I don't think it's much of a hot take to say that Nebula is probably one of the most cheesy spies ever against Rav, who is the most campery spy. So this is a campery sniper. One of those. Probably the most campy spy, too. That's a white microfilm, and that's a shot. Great. That happens.
I mean, even though unfortunately that head turn is just very visible with that hat on. So let's just say if that was Salmon, maybe the bald head isn't as much as visible, but that little head turn with the hat just and Rob being the campy sniper that he is immediately sees that and just shoots. I don't think there's much to add here. Just very good awareness from Rob.
Yeah. Queen and Tex, like 9 times out of 10, white microfilm is just death. So, especially against Rob.
Indeed. I think in this division, especially, any tiny mistake you can do is just going to be a shot. It's very hard to get away with it. But anyways, this time, Rob is going to be on the spy side, going to be playing as Red Dress. Starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Let's hope for a bit of a longer game rather than 20 seconds.
I was actually hoping, since just about everyone was in the front, that Rob would try microfilm cheese, but I'm not sure if that would have worked. But
I mean, I think that since Nebula is one of the best players on the gallery, I imagine he would look for those. Especially, I mean, when you're playing, especially with Sauerkraut as well, who does that all the time, you're gonna be conditioned to look at those. This is gonna get an early fingerprint.
Yeah. I mean, especially against new players, you do have to do something a little outlandish a lot of the times to try to get that win. But
you're saying Rob is a new player? Are you implying that?
I meant good player. I haven't casted in a second. Anyway, we have the print. We're just gonna start flirting with Boots here for a nice 51%.
The flirt is surprisingly difficult to do in gallery, especially in this division, unnoticed. You really want to get that 2 flirt, and the first green test certainly comes down to that. The problem sometimes I have with Raw Spies, just sometimes a tad too slow against. I'm saying that. Well, as I'm implying, it's not. I'm saying that Raw Spy is bad, obviously not. But sometimes they don't leave themselves too much time to finish.
Yeah.
And that could be a worry, especially on gallery.
Yeah, Rob is a very, very slow spy a lot of the times. Very calm and calculating, but that often means if he doesn't have an opportunity soon, he's going to have to make some that aren't as good. He's still a very good spy, don't get me wrong, but there's always benefits and problems with having a slow spy or a fast spy.
And coming back to the since we're not doing anything, coming back to the dichotomy of styles I preferred before, Nebula certainly can play slow if he wants to, but he's usually the fast aggressive type of spy. But he's gonna try to be willing to do things and do them fast if he can get away with it. While Rob is usually more calculated and methodical in his gameplay.
Yeah. I would think we were stepping out of the front to go try to get a flirt and a contact, but the ST is deciding to walk back right next to us. We're not going to finish the flirt because we had a white, but we're already a little bit better than we were a few seconds ago.
I think that, while the flirt, I don't think is going to be tracked really, since the Dutch target did come to us. The problem is that we're still going to need to find one more flirt. And on gallery, it's not that necessarily a given.
Yep. Also notice how Boots is taking a print, which could have done a print swap, which would have been a very excellent end. And now Rob is going to have a harder time finishing as they finish up the flirt.
Yeah, again, 30 seconds left. DA is in the conversation out in front, so there is an avenue to do like a print swap. But oh no, Ambassador just takes the statue, and oh no, I don't see an avenue of finishing here. The Toby is all the way out there. We're gonna have to, we do request. And this is probably gonna be purloined into print swap. It is a green. Oh, that path was a bit awkward. We do immediately highlight it.
Yeah, we are getting the print. I'm assuming we're getting a swap here, and Perlin is coming off now, and Rob's just dead.
I think even before the swap, I think we were well aware of the potential portal into fingerprint play, and I don't think the swap even matters here. I think we were just gonna get shouted at Portland regardless, since there wasn't much of a chain after that. It was, I think, General that took it next, and the fade was quite clearly seen, if I recall correctly.
Yep. Yeah, again, if you waste too much time, you can often have to make crazy plays like that, and usually they don't work, which is the downside to slow spies. But anyway, moving on to the third game. Maybe Nebula won't get shot within the first 20 seconds this time.
Well, for his ape, I hope so. He's gonna go with Irish, starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Okay. Maybe we're setting up for a bug, but we don't have the best angle, and we're not. And I don't think we have the character for it, so our hand would be so Nebula. And it's not like Ambassador is going to give us that anyways. Are we gonna go to the front combo tat? No, I thought we were gonna go out time, but apparently not. DA is in conversation. We could do a banana, but it would be very early on. But for
it would be. It would be early, but this is fairly good conversations. But yeah, it's within the first minute. This is not worth it in just about any world. I am assuming we're standing up to time at some point here.
Yeah, we don't really want to chase our seduction target. We're hoping seduction target comes to us, and indeed he does. We do hit a green test with 51%. I'm assuming a time mat coming up any second now.
I mean, we don't have to time that here, but especially considering the ST came to us.
True,
but I don't know why else we would be in this conversation except just be here.
I mean, I'm just looking at this behaviorally as someone that watches Nebula play a lot and seen their previous games. They like to play aggressive, and I imagine if he can get away with the time ad when Ambassador out of front and Toby, the chain coming on of Toby as well, I imagine that we wanted to try that.
We could go for a bug here on the way past, and we do, but it doesn't take, and I don't think it was seen.
Yes, it was.
Okay, never mind. It was.
Rob just takes their sweet time shooting. Yeah, just maybe overambitious on that bug. And even if Ambassador's out in front, maybe if the sniper keeps zoomed in, it works. But that's just such a risk. And unfortunately, Nebula, that risk doesn't pay off for Nebula. And Rob is all over that bug attempt.
Yep. Probably could have done a double walking bug, but I think that just gives you credit anyway. So we move on to the final game of Gallery.
Your favorite.
Rav is a small man.
Smallest of men. In the biggest of galleries. Starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Unfortunately, we were not fast enough to go for the Ambassador bug there behind all the crowd of people. Just a bit of a downside of small man. He's not the fastest runner. So
yes, I believe behind Pearl's, and maybe Tex, Smallman is the slowest, which you do have to take in mind when you're playing a big gallery, a venue like Gallery, that you are not very fast. And so while Smallman is very good on Gallery for obvious reasons, there is the obvious downside of him not being able to cross the venue in like 10 seconds.
Indeed. Okay, I'm wondering. Okay, it's not like we can do any cheese currently. We are at the very side of a conversation, so we would be seen, I imagine. And we do a timer floor cost rotation. It is a 51%, so 2 greens for that.
Technically speaking, that was Rocker Lufton joined, not a timer flirt, but yes. We're going right to here, probably going to go right next to Rocker and finish up the flirt. Except Sari takes a spot, and I don't think there's another spot next to Rocker.
Maybe we're gonna. I thought we're gonna maybe try to grab that fingerprintable briefcase there, and not briefcase, the statue there, rather. But Rob decides against it. think we're waiting for a spot to open up near rock, or fortunately there is none left. We kind of have to jam ourselves in there between tapped and we do that. Okay.
Yep. Could have gotten a bug as Amber walk past, but we didn't, which is probably a good decision. And we are finishing up the flirt, and now we have 2 minutes left with only flirt.
Yeah, that's pretty usually standard for gallery. You're really glad to be done with that flirt, since having one more flirt on gallery at, let's just say, less than a minute just puts a stranglehold of what can you really do, and that's something that Rob doesn't want to repeat, especially from the last game. Bit of a wobbly path toward the statue. Or we just white swap behind General. I don't think
that. I don't know if that was seen either. General's pretty big, and I don't know if we were seen at the statue, much less if the statue was seen.
Okay, now the statue set up is visible, but is Nebula paying attention to that? It's just such a bold play.
By laser movement, I want to say Nebula might have noticed and is calculating what is doing it, but I don't think so.
That's a small man cheese I've actually never seen before, and we do get a highlight for it though.
Yeah, I think the swap's definitely seen, and he has no idea where it is, and is just assuming Smallman could have done something. Which is, can't argue with that logic.
Oh, the DA leaves. That's such a tragedy.
We're nodding, so we might want to go directly for not real contact and frame here.
We're gonna have to time it. No, we don't. Is the DA gonna come back to the conversation? I don't think he does. Or at least we're not heading to it. 25 seconds left. What's the completion? Purloin into transfer?
Blazer is just on us. I'm not sure what the plan is here. I'm assuming we're gonna slam this into green and dance, but...
Oh, but Bastard's right there as well. We're gonna slam this. We're not seeing.
We're behind everything. Oh my goodness.
We can't shoot this. We can't shoot this. Mission Hotel, we can't shoot this. I mean, accidentally shot the SDA. Oh my lord. That was filthy.
That is a game. That is one of the games that I have seen today.
And you can see Nebula looking from the sniper angle, just trying to find Smallman, enemy to shoot Smallman. The front conversation is so full that there is no angle to shoot.
Yeah.
There is a very slight possibility maybe to shoot at the around 5-second mark, but it's really hard to line that up. I cannot blame Nebula for not being able to do it. And yeah, just good awareness from Rob. A bit lucky that Ambassador came here and gave us that bug opportunity, because we would have to do a transfer and then purloin at the back, which we may have more time to be able to shoot the small man there, but that's a very good finish there from Rob.
Yeah. All right, well, that's the end of gallery. We're moving on to veranda, which was doubled by Rov's. Yeah, so Rov has gone 3-1 on Nebula's double. So veranda is obviously very hard to get an upset in when it comes to like multiple spy wins. So Nebula will either have to get a spy win here or be behind. So not an easy task against Rov.
Indeed, it is not. Let's see if Nebula is able to do it. Starting off as Seek, playing in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Veranda is, I don't think it's completely impossible for a spy win. I would say that Library is probably the hardest one to find spy wins currently. There is some shenanigans you can do at Veranda, but again, 5 of 8, it's quite difficult against the top tier snipers such as Rob.
Rob, debatably best sniper in the game right now, and Veranda's also absolutely undeniably top 3 hardest to get a spy win on in the game right now. So it's definitely going to be hard for Nebula to get a spy win. Much less also hold both sniper wins.
I would argue, maybe you could argue that Rob is the best camping sniper. I would say has an amazing ability of, as we do get a difficult fingerprint. Typical fingerprints, of course, are usually better than fresh ones, but I imagine that Rob still credits those.
Yep.
Especially against the top tier players.
Yeah. Twin is going back to green, so I assume we're going to finish up the flirt there and not microfilm.
Oh, we do a transfer. I think we flubbed it, but it's not seen.
Yeah, I think that was not intentional. I think we were going for flirt. But either way, we did get that microfilm off clean, whether that was intentional or not. And now we have a little bit more progress.
I think we're just following Bob Ross's logic. There are no mistakes, just happy little accidents, and Nebula with accident that's managed to work out.
Yeah. And now we're just in an innocent conversation. Just doing nothing.
Maybe waiting for a DA to... I think we're waiting for a print to materialize. Ambassador is leaving a briefcase there, but unfortunately 2 AIs already are coming into it. SR is going to pick that up. The DA joins us. This isn't the best conversation. This isn't the best time to do contact. There's a lot of movement out front in the party. Of course, the Nebula doesn't know this, but our conversation would be the only one that has a real, so...
Yeah. The advantage being in this conversation or the one directly to the left of ours is you can know exactly which conversations have stuff. Otherwise, it's a little bit of a guessing game. But yeah, it's looking better than it was a minute ago. But now it's still not great contact.
Mainly, I think that while conversations are filled up, the other SDAs are not with any other people. One of the SDAs is at the bookcase, and the other one's just with Ambassador and no one else. So we only have 4 reels, and Rob being the camping sniper, I'm sure he would notice that. We're still waiting. We're taking our very time. And unfortunately, DA leaves.
Yeah. And now we have a minute and a half, and we only have 1 and 2 halves of missions, which is already looking at some time trouble there. Which Nebula notices and gives a green time ad, which I really like.
Are we gonna do it again? I think we're gonna have to do it again. No? Okay. Maybe not now. But I think we're gonna have to do another time ad soon.
No.
But
I mean, it's possible. Yeah.
Okay, there's a finger. Okay, as right on cue, we get another green time ad. There is a fingerable statue at the back there. I think we are going... No, I thought we were gonna go straight for it, but it doesn't seem like it. We're gonna go for this transfer here. Imagine here, Rob is currently thinking, why is there no contact? Conversations are filled up. All of the SDAs are pretty much all in contact. Oh, we don't do it. I think we want to do a contact first and then do a transfer. But the DA just does not go into a convo, sadly.
I mean, from Nebula's perspective, Rob did look like they were taking the angle on that. I don't think that Rob was, but it's hard to tell exactly where the sniper is, and it did look like that was what was happening. So I think Nebula is just waiting for a better opportunity here.
Yeah, but maybe thinking, okay, Ambassador's at the other side. I'm not going to get watched for this, as we are doing a green tie microfilm. It is immediately, and I don't think that was seen. We're as we're out on cube, we are looking at the other side of the venue.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, transfer done cleanly.
Yep, it was visible, but I do not think that was seen at all. But we do get a highlight, I'm assuming just for statues, especially since this is printable.
Indeed. But I wonder, oh no, I think we would get shot. Oh, this is a green swap.
That is a green swap, yeah.
I think we're going to go for a silent game at this point.
Either that or we just go contact right now. The DA is in conversation on the other side of the venue.
Smallman is getting called to it. It's one of the highlights. And it's a real contact. Oh, and it doesn't matter. We just get shot.
Yep, that's fair.
I was taken aback. I thought we are gonna be looking at small man there to see what the statue is, but we don't care. We just immediately shoots Nebula.
Considering where the statue is, I think by the time we look over there, the game would be over by the time that Nebula would Rob would be able to shoot Nebula. So Rob just had to take the shot there, which was the correct shot.
And even though that was a relative clean game from Nebula, Rob was just all over that and managed to get a sniper run, and it was already up 4-1. And I think if the Rob gets that next spy game, it's gonna be absolutely out of control. Nebula needs to win this in order to keep control. It is on the sniper side of around us, so it is possible. So we're gonna see Rob playing as Blink Twin, the better one of the twins, the bar style. Starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, I have to agree. Yeah, Blink Twin's better. I don't get these plain twins better people. Just wrong. But anyway, we're just standing at a window, just waiting for the party to be a little nicer. Nothing much.
Yeah, and imagine we're gonna take the we're gonna again do this relatively slowly as we tend to do, as we hit it for a floor for 42%. Nice little early progress there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a nice little progress. SD's gonna leave, so the flirt cooldown's gonna expire in a second. So that gives us time to go do something.
I mean, yeah, okay, we are leaving. It would be interesting to what one of these players to just try to get a rush past. I mean, I imagine they won't, since they're both very familiar with each other. I'm pretty certain that Rob and Nebula have played quite a lot of competitive sets between each other, so they may think that the rush is not usually gonna work, and especially on the round where you have to rush 5 missions and not get noticed by these elite snipers.
On the topic of they played each other, I think they did play each other in the semifinals in Hidden Cup, and I don't know if that was before or after this game. But they definitely have played each other a number of times, especially recently. So I don't know if Nebula knows which one the order is, but you know.
We do a green transfer, and that the sniper laser was completely on the different side, so that's just clean. We immediately slam it back, assuming that the Nebula is not gonna notice that we basically one-cycled this set of transfer, and it seems like we don't.
Yep.
That the problem is you're gonna have to do another action test, and usually is the as I sometimes said, the second transfer test is usually the fail one. Oh, that's unfortunate. 98% vote.
Yep, that is of course very unfortunate. And now we have 2 minutes left, and we have no missions complete. I think we're twitching here so we don't get offered to, which is fair, I guess.
Maybe we're trying to. It would be nice. It would be interesting to see that. Maybe that's a play to say, "Oh, someone requested at the back of the party there," but doesn't seem like Nebula is interested in that currently. Yes. I think we're gonna need to get for a time at this. We're gonna finish up this transfer here.
Yeah, Nebula not taking the angle for that. So that transfer is going to be clean, at least animation-wise.
So, yeah, we're going to finish up this flirt. Contact should be... hopefully it's going to come relatively soon as well. But that leaves, again, having us to do 2 missions at the... Oh, suggestion target leaves as well. That's unfortunate. Luckily, they're on, right beside us, so... We could go quickly finish that. Are we going to go for this bug here? No, we are heavily stared down for this.
Yeah. Again, this is the big downside of slow playing is sometimes you just are too slow, and now we have less than a minute left and 2 missions done.
I imagine that Rob would... I think Rob would need a timeout here. Most certain of it if we want to... Are we going to go for a Purloin contact into swap?
This is gonna be green Purloin.
Oh, that's bug. Was pretty
That
visible.
yeah. Didn't even take.
Yeah, didn't even take, and unfortunately, Ambassador not walking beside. I think we're hoping that Ambassador walks beside her sus and hides the arm, but yeah, just Ambassador coming to the conversation. Our arm is waving at the sniper, and that's enough for Nebula to shoot. And even with that, I think rushing the last 3 missions at the 30-second mark would have been hard to get away with, regardless.
Yeah. Now with that, Nebula needs to win both of the next games as well, and then they can bring it back to a tie. Otherwise, they're still in the downside. With Nebula playing just one of the best spies as general.
I think Nebula would disagree with you, but regardless, we're gonna start it in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I would be very surprised if people disagreed with me. General is just pretty good. Anyway,
I know Nebula likes this Disney, but he may appreciate some general as well.
well, Nebula's wrong. Anyway, we're in a nice position to get a reverse drive by bug here if Amba leaves here, which I do quite like. But that obviously means the ambassador has to be on this side of the conversation, and Rob isn't looking for it, which Rob is. So
Yeah,
no
very
bug
aware
there.
very aware that play could happen and deciding against it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If that didn't happen, that was obviously a very good play. But you know, obviously people are looking for that because it's a very good play.
That's just the book rip.
That is a book rip. I thought that had a print on it, but
It does. It has a difficult print there.
oh, it does have a print on it,
which we do hit.
Nice. So now we have a print and a book. I'm sure that book rip was probably maybe seen, but also I don't know.
And the end of red.
Oh, we do a fake contact into a contact? Oh, wait. I am perplexed by that. What?
Well, it was a contact into a fake contact. It might look like action priorities, so he's going to pay attention to the Purloin, which means we can maybe get a book slam in here. I don't know. That's my thought process.
What other action priority is there? There's no seduction target in there.
Well, I'm thinking framing it being a messed up action priority on a Purloin, which I've done once or twice before. It's very niche, but might cause the distraction to give Nebula the chance to do this, which is a direct microfilm here, which he's going to get shot for.
I was up to say, I don't think Rob is going to let that slide, and indeed, Rob is all over this book. I'm sorry, I can't speak. The unorganizing of books. How dare the spy put a green book into a red one? Deserves to get shot for that.
Yeah, clearly just not respecting the host of this party in the slightest. Very sad. Anyway, we move on to the final game on Veranda.
Indeed, thus far it's been a sniper spot, which we were expecting. Let's see if Rob is able to change that. Playing as Duke, which I know is his favorite spy. Starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it. I wonder how favorite spies usually come about. Because maybe it's just the placebo effect. It's just like, oh, I'm just the thing that I'm having the best success with it.
I mean, Smallman's my favorite because he's just the best, and I will not take any criticism on this. But I mean, I think people find favorites based off who they think is underrated a lot of the time. I think Duke is indeed a lot of an underrated spy. I think Disney a lot of the time gets a lot of hate where he does not truly deserve all of it, just most of it. So I think that's possible there, but this is just speculation. Probably just they like him.
Yeah, I think that's usually the reason. Just they like him. That's it.
Yeah.
thus far, again, we are very slow. No progress. I don't think this has a print on it as well. I stand corrected. It does have a print, and even a fresh one at that.
Yep. That's probably illegal path, but you know, that's fine.
But I mean, with all of the attention, or especially on Veranda, there's a lot of things you are aware of, and sometimes pathing isn't one of those. And I think we just got away. I don't think we say got away with that. It's not like we got away with the mission. I think just the sniper didn't notice that, or if they noticed, they didn't give much credit to.
Yeah. I mean, you do have to pay attention to pathing when you're facing someone like Nebula, but I do tend to agree. It's not, especially on a big venue like this, it's not the biggest issue. We are going to time ad, which I do quite like, considering I think in all three of Rob's spy games, they had to rush like all of their missions in the last minute.
Luckily, seduction target sells right besides us, so that's nice.
Yep.
If we do green as well.
Yep, a nice 51%. Yeah.
Now, if I wonder if we always play usually, as you said, basically all these spy games on Rob have been relatively slow. I wonder if Rob ever tries to mix in a rush, maybe on the next upcoming venue. Think it's Courtyards. I don't remember actually.
I think.
Oh, it's high rise. It's high rise.
It's either high rise or terrace, I think, and I'm leaning to high rise. Which high rise is definitely one of those rush venues because it just only has 3 missions. So I do think that's definitely possible. But we're definitely not rushing now since we're just sitting here some more.
I like that combo stuff from Rocker there, but oh, we do get a bug though. Oh, that's lovely. But we do get an immediate highlight for it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's a beautiful bug. A lot of people just still will not credit that, but Nebula was staring that down, and has to at least give credit for that. And I think Rob might be in a tough spot now.
I think I want to say mainly it's I want to say the talk afterwards as well. Usually the spies will tend to talk right after the bug attempt. So maybe that's even another behavioral tell that could be happening here. Also probably just the credit on the bug.
That too, yeah. I mean, I think if Rob doesn't talk there is a bit of a noticeable animation at the end there. So I do think the talk was necessary, but obviously the talk is going to make it seem like you were just a spy here. So
we don't hit the green, and I think that was really crucial. We are gonna leave. Are we gonna do this be banana bread here? Oh, never mind. We just get shot.
I mean, it's very nice banana bread with a briefcase on, but yeah, we just finished Prince. Nebula's just pretty sure it's us.
I want to take a look at. I want to take a look at the bug again from the sniper perspective, since I don't know how visible it is. The neck is stiffening, which is usually the sign of bug. And I think the talk afterwards just like think, okay, I'm pretty sure that was a bug, but let's just keep you on the high suspect list, and if you do anything more, you're getting shot. And I think Nebula was, after that flirt into a briefcase, I think that's just the spy and shoots enough for that. We have a split on Veranda. Not a big surprise. So Rob's still up 5-3. Because we're going to go on to singles.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, singles, we have high rise, of course, which is 3 of 6, and you have to have microfilm or swap on, unless I'm mistaken there. I don't know.
Correct.
Yeah, I just didn't play high rise like the entire SML, so I don't actually know, but I just assumed. Nebula is playing Alice, who I think Nebula also quite likes. Yeah.
Yeah, let's start it, and in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Yeah, but one of the underrated skills here, especially on high res I've found, is flare pairing. as we do go for a long white at 20%, and we do have transfer and fingerprint off. I've seen some people leave transfer on and swap on off. That's very rare. I'm personally a believer that inspect should be off as well. So
No, get out of here. No, and I mean inspects almost always, at least one AI is going to do that, and it can get you a shot a lot of the times. And you know, if you do that, you do have to complete inspects once or twice, but it's just not worth it turning inspects off, in my opinion. The real issue is what that I see a lot is, do you turn off print or do you turn off Purloin for a lot of people? And I mean, I've seen most people keep Purloin on, but yeah, turn off is nothing unusual.
I think mainly between, as you said, we hit a green for 69%. Usually you want to have, okay, we do have a banana bread. Unfortunately, the SDA is out in the other conversation, so it's only us that will have a real contact. But it's still 5 people, so that's still pretty good.
Yep. Obviously, STA being out is always, it feels bad. We are going directly next to Harry here. It's going to be a white, but we do still complete it. And now we just need to do a third mission.
Yeah, come back to the point between fingerprint and Purloin. Usually Purloin would have a higher success chance rather, because there could be a chain going on. There's a long chain with both all of the contacts that have real. Never mind, we're going straight into statues with a minute left. Let's see if Rob can shoot for this. It's center statues. We'll be mission and countdown when we complete this. We are looking at it, but I'm not sure we're ready. We're keeping Alice at the side there of our binoculars, but are we shooting?
Rob's thinking about it.
Yeah, Rob's thinking about it, but I don't think we got the work done. And that's just the vision. And so, yeah, I don't think that's the thing that, especially if you don't track flirt well enough, or maybe, and that's just I think we talked twice in the conversation, but we were never close to particular someone for a long time. That makes the flirt much harder to track. And if you miss the flirt she's at the green bookshelf, or maybe just not notice it, that just makes I think that what Rob was thinking, but he's thinking, no way Alice has done the flirt. He wasn't flirting with anyone in particular. And
this is why you keep inspects on.
Okay. Rob proving me, Nebula proving me wrong, as Nebula, I think this gets his first spy win in this entire set. I think thus far Rob has been sniping perfectly.
Yep.
So Nebula clawing back within 1. Let's see if Rob can answer back with a spy win of his own, playing as Boots, starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it. It's all either Boots or Buns, whichever you prefer.
I just like Boots. Either way, speaking of inspect swap off, Rob has chosen to do that as well, and is going to get a 51% flirt next to the ST. Yeah.
I've seen some other players do this, but maybe I personally just prefer having either inspect or swap on, just so the sniper has more, has to split their attention more, since now you can just forget about statues entirely unless the ambassador picks one up. Basically, that entire side of the venue is almost completely irrelevant. That said, you do have to watch for transfer, which sometimes you're just not aware of. And so that sometimes can be exploited. Even though transfer is usually seen as the hardest mission to get past, if the sniper's not actively aware of it or used to guarding it, it could be really powerful.
Yeah, High Rise is probably one of the better small venues to get a microfilm off on, but then again, considering both of the bookshelves are very easy to notice from most angles. Or at least one of them is from most angles. It's not an easy feat to get that. And we finished the flirt. This should, if Inspect was on, I would say this is a good time to get like one Inspect, get a contact, and maybe go for the other. But we're just not gonna. We don't have it on, so we can't really do that right here.
We're gonna go for his fingerprints, Grace. So we do get hit it, but it leaves us with at least an avenue of completing. We still need to find one more potential later on. Is this the one with it? I don't remember if this ambassador picked this up.
No, this I do not believe has a print on it.
Doesn't seem like it, as there's no fingerprint attempt.
Yeah, we have a minute left, and we just need a contact and a print somewhere or a pearl line.
There's another briefcase, though. We're gonna have to.
Another briefcase.
That's two briefcases. The two prints from briefcase, and but unfortunately the DA is nowhere to be found. Either of them, rather, and that could be a difficult avenue towards finishing. So maybe we're just gonna have a book and have in our pocket for potential. As never mind, DA joins. This would be a perfect time to join and get a contact. No, we're not. We're going for a straight transfer. Are we going to transfer at the very last second?
I mean, that's what I'm assuming we're doing, but we simply don't. We're getting a bug, and it's not going to hit, and we need to get a green here, but we had a white, and we're just going to run out of time.
Oh, that's just so unfortunate. Oh, maybe, interestingly enough, maybe that book grip into a dump would be enough, but without a contact coming off, the sniper would be wondering, okay, why does the mission win countdown just coming up when there's no contact? And maybe you would notice that the boot is finished and print is a rubber transfer there. It's a nice bug, and unfortunately we're too late, and the ambassador leaves at the worst time. Yeah, if being the ambassador just stays there for an extra second, we get that bug. And I don't think that would be noticed. And unfortunately, we don't hit the green on the contact and thus run out of time. Painful game up.
Yeah, I mean, we might get shot there for a contact, but we at least would still have missions done at that point. So as we move on to Tayen, with the score now tied up again, with Nebula taking the turn on Smallman.
And Tayen is, I'm going to say, the most notorious of the small man playing grounds. Let's see how Nebula is going to exploit that. Starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Tayen is the most Smallman playground of Smallman playground. There's not a lot of space, so everyone's cramped together. It means that Smallman's speed is not going to be an issue. It means that a lot of the time Smallman can just be wherever he wants to be and not get seen. Honestly, if you are playing Tayen and you don't have Smallman in your party, you aren't playing Tayen right, frankly.
As I do hit another, so that a second floor for 65%. Say Smallman playground. This could be his sandbox as well if we were surrounded. Whoa, what was that?
That was a motorcycle that I'm assuming got picked up by the camera, the microphone. So fun. Yeah, we have a 65% flirt, which means we do need to hit a green. But Nebula is pretty good with action tests, so I'm sure that's not going to be the biggest issue here. We are moving to a better spot so we can get an offer for a pearl line, and we hit a green. The trade does obviously go down in that case, but it's still hard to see as we get a fake contact with an SDA. Sorry, does a pearl line, and we're just getting shot here. No,
we shot a civil torch. I think we're just waiting for Smallman. I mean, we're obviously looking for Smallman. Unfortunately, there's no avenue for us to shoot Smallman. So we're thinking, okay, I saw Toby kneel down. There is a contact, and the conversation does have an SDA, and it's TN. Smallman has a bug basically whenever he wants. That could be a rush finish for Smallman, and thus he had to shoot there. But just there's no feasible shot there on Smallman. I don't think from any angle, and unfortunately for Rob, just misses.
As previously stated, if you are playing Tan and Smallman is not in the party, you're not playing Tan correctly. And this is why, because you can just have somebody want to shoot Smallman, and you can just have them miss. If you are Smallman.
That's a painful loss for Rob, because he was clearly all over that play. But Nebula finally in the lead, 6-5, and it is Tan, so Spy win is still very much feasible. Rob on the Spy side as a rocker, starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah. Rocker also a very good spy on Tan, I should mention, because just a lot of cover and kind of blends in with the hair there. I mean, every spy's a good spy on Tan, because Tan's just so good for spies.
This it should. I want to say it all sometimes depends on shoji setup as well, right? So if all shoji are on one side, either books or statues, it's harder to get off. Let's just say with books, for example, since sniper can just hold one angle and be basically in the clear about it. Excuse me.
Yeah. Spyparty does have a lot of luck involved in it, and Tan is probably one of the most luck-based venues with the Soju setups. Yeah.
I don't know if I would agree that Spyparty has a lot of luck. I would say that there's sometimes there is luck. Definitely there's luck sometimes involved, but I don't think it's highly dependent on it.
I think, yeah, it's definitely more skill than luck, but there's still a lot of luck, to be fair. We're doing nothing, so that's fun.
Story of Rob's sniper spy thus far, as we do get a banana bread. We're watching Smallman intensely here from Nebula's side. I'm just hoping that we don't get. The Smallman breaks animation, Lee goes to statues. Is this gonna get a shot on Smallman? We are death staring. He goes to middle statue, not just a shot.
Yes.
I think
I'm gonna say it again. If you don't have Smallman in your party, you're not playing it correctly.
I mean, that is I want to say that's a very deserved shot though, since Smallman was in a very he picked up a briefcase. He was right behind Ambassador, where he could get a bug, and content goes immediately to censor as statues. He even breaks he doesn't wait for the talk cycle to finish. He just immediately goes to center statues, and yeah, I think that's unfortunate, but I think it's still a correct shot, even though that's not a spy, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta take that shot because it's Smallman. Anyway, speaking of Smallman, we're going on to our next game on Terrace. The score back tied up, and Nebula doing another Smallman game.
Indeed, third time's the charm. I think that's third time in a row. Nebula has Smallman in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Oh, unfortunately, we couldn't get a bug. I think Nebula was angling towards it, but sadly, no avenue towards it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna go get some delegates here. Nothing too special.
No delegate highlights from Rob. I think most people here on the terrace highlight delegates, but maybe not this early on, since it's only a couple of people that you need to remember. So maybe Rob is looking to a fake contact that does let off pearls here, but otherwise that's a lot of reels to keep track of.
Yeah, this is a lot of the times not something that is going to test your memory all the time, more so just test behavioral stuff like who is getting stuff done, and would the spy do that? In contact, the spy would very obviously do, so I do not hate the highlights for real here.
Yeah, that's context highlights for real. Seduction target took a weird pattern in the conversation there. So, we're delegating to the ambassador. I think this, yeah, it's gonna time out. I think we're leaving for leaving a print there for someone to pick up, as our seduction target is going to get it. That our seduction target could be a possible frame target if we want to pretend as we are delegating towards Porloin there.
Yep.
Oh, we don't pick up a drink though. We do get briefcase though.
Yeah, Alice does have at least the one print there, because I'm assuming that briefcase is a print on it, because I don't actually know. But yeah, prints are going around. We have nothing done, as Alice comes next to us, so now we could.
Oh, yeah, but if Rob is aware of it, I think Alice is closer to Disney rather to us. So if Alice would be the one to delegate, it would delegate to Disney. Still hard to know exactly. So, as we're gonna go for a fake wide contact here.
In the end of red.
I think we're gonna frame Alice here. Yeah, indeed, we're gonna leave, and I think we're gonna grab this Purloin here. And
I will point out that Queen was also next to us. They have a delegate, and they're, I believe, finishing prints right now. So I think Queen is.
Yeah, we are triggering. And
but no.
Shot. Yeah, I think Rob was very much aware of Alice, that Alice would have delegated towards Disney and not Small Man. And Small Man picking up the list there, it's most definitely a frame.
Well, the other side, Queen had a delegate as well and finished prints. So I think that was more of a Queen frame than anything.
Yeah,
still a good shot.
Yeah, still a good shot. Maybe noticing that the Queen wasn't talking, she was sipping a drink. Can't really a delegate while sipping a drink. So I think that's just a great awareness from Rob Sniper.
Yep.
Tough situation. That's a tough situation, but Rob handled it perfectly.
Mm-hmm. As we're moving on to the other side of Terrace.
It's the same side, but
it is
the same. I don't think Terrace
the players are moving to the other side of Terrace, I should say.
There you go. Rob as Alice on the other side of Terrace, apparently. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, we're actually on the other side of the entire building of Terrace. Nobody knows what's back there, but we're gonna find out, apparently.
The other side of Terrace does sound like a rock album name, to be fair. As we do hit a white vote for 34%.
We're not taking the bug there, which I think is probably the best idea there, but that would have been interesting. Yeah.
Maybe it was, I don't recall the sniper's angle towards it. General is there to block us. Maybe that would work, but that would be a huge risk. And Rob tends to play slow and calculate at the beginning on all of their spy games thus far. So doesn't surprise we don't go for this highly aggressive play.
Yeah, Rob, come on, do some missions.
I feel we are not allowed to flame the players here, Guggy. That's just not nice.
You're not allowed to. I got direct permission. I don't know about you. Yeah, we're just sitting there. DA's here. This is not best contact, since considering now 3 people are out of conversation. But if people come back in, it's not a horrible idea.
Oh, we were guarding it though. I thought maybe that's an opportunity for a bug there. Maybe we're not close enough there, but still would have been a nice attempt potential. But Nebula was all over that watching, so no dice. Again, I guess that Terrace is one of those venues you could potentially frame here. and frame successfully, rather.
Yes. Terrace is probably the best venue for framing, besides like balcony. But it's gonna be hard to frame people if we're the only person in with the DA.
Is that sorry, is that twin finishing statues there?
No, that twin was at that set of statues already.
Oh, okay. So that I thought it
That
was
twin has to go to the other set, or
Okay.
the one in combat has to go to the set they're at. Yeah. I track things. Yeah, we're doing
Nice to
a
meet you.
whole lot of nothing here.
Yeah, 40 seconds left. I don't think there's an avenue towards framing someone. We would be the only person to have real there. And yeah, we're gonna grab a delegate, and even then, I don't think we're finishing here unless we time out or frame someone. Timeouting on terrace usually quite terrible, so I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, we have 13 seconds left. I assume we're just gonna delegate here.
We're low lit.
We're getting low lit.
We're a delegate.
We're not gonna finish, but we get a low lit.
Yeah. We get a bug. I think that was just I get a bug because I can, but yeah, just maybe if we have Seduce there, that could be an avenue towards finishing, especially when we're low lit, but I think we just idled too much for too long, trying to find a frame that wasn't materializing, and yeah, that's just again maybe too slow from Rob, and that's another timeout, and the set tied 7-7.
And it is 1st to 9, if I remember correctly.
Yes, so this is the last menu.
So each player will get a point towards their final score for each game they win here. Considering, you get 2 on a win and 1 on a tie. So, great.
Yeah, we're all to play for on courtyard. Nebula on the spy side as sorry. Starting at 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Now, when I was mentioning venues that are hard to get a spy win on against great players, Courtyard is definitely one of them because it's hard to get a bug. Purloin's almost always tracked, and you almost certainly just have to do inspects here.
We are I think we're in the golden bug range, but Rob is. Oh, we do get a bug. But what?
We're highlight for a second, but I think that's mostly just for a soft creditor bug. I think we might be dead on inspects, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, it all recalls about. Maybe if we go to statues, we are gonna be dead. But if we get away with that clean, that's huge. Because we are gonna step in for the first flirt.
Yeah, we're gonna. I believe that is the SDA. Yep. So there's no contacting here, but we'll happily take some flirting here as we get 51%.
Now the big question is: are you going to statues now and then finish contact and flirt later, or do you go? Or do you do flirt contact and just? Oh, we do go for a fake. It's everyone's in conversation. That's a really good time to do a fake.
It is real for us, but I mean, again, everyone is in conversation, so it's not a horrible time for a fake at all.
I think Rob is also aware of it, since okay, everyone's in conversation. The spy may not necessarily have a real there.
It could also lower suspicion for us if we get a real contact later, since it looks like we already had a contact. But I mean, Rob is Rob, so I don't think we're getting less suspicion for that sort of thing. As we step in next to our SG yet again.
It's a white, unfortunately. That I think that green would have if that green would have put us in a very nice avenue position. We're gonna have to find another flirt later on, and with a potential credit of bug, we may not be able to get that chance, unfortunately. But then again, it all hinges up if that Bug was visible, as we do get another fake. Oh, we cough! We cough again!
Yeah, that is a white and leave. That cough's just seen, and we just lose. We would
that is
probably be
tragic.
shot for inspects anyway, I think. But yeah, that is unfortunate.
That is tragic. But that's so fortunate. Yeah, I don't know if that maybe that bug was credited. It's always hard to say. But yeah, but that's white cough. Yeah, we coughed twice, and maybe the first time wouldn't be visible, but the second time is right in the face with sniper. And yeah, that's just that just spells death. In any regards, Robs has secured a tie, and he's gonna be spying for a win on Courtyard. Not an easiest place to do so, but starting out of the possibilities. Playing as Irish, starting in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah. Rav has secured at the very least a tie, and if they get this, they get a win, which is obviously not going to be an easy challenge against a sniper like Nebula, but certainly not impossible, as Rob's done this twice, 3 times maybe already. I don't remember. I've already forgotten.
Already forgotten, sad. As we do hit a fight for 33%. Of course, the biggest question on Courtyard, what's the 4th mission? Because every single spy is gonna do flirt. Almost every single spy is gonna do flirt, contact, inspects. So what's the 4th one? Usually, that's the hardest one to find.
I mean, Prince just going to get you shot 9 times out of 10. Bug is gonna have to be a really good bug against Nebula. It's possible we could do a Purloin. We're gonna get credited for it, but we might not be seen as the spy there. It's hard to get any of them past.
Yeah, since the sniper can rotate for 1 or 2 seconds and see basically all of the Courtyard, track all of it, and that's just that's the hardest thing about it. The sniper can just basically watch the entirety of Courtyard pretty much all of the time. Because we are just gonna step into the seduction target. We're gonna be respectful of the splurts. Because we do hit a white for 56.
Yeah, if we don't hit a green for the next one, relatively close, we are gonna have to do a 4 flirt, which is not something you want to do ever. Yeah, we have a minute and a half left, and we need to get another half of a flirt and do some actual missions, Rob.
Yeah, fake contact coming up. We lowlight Tabs who was picking up a briefcase during that time, but that's about it. Okay, we lowlight Salmon there, but I think that was just for pathing.
Yeah,
I had to guess. I'm not sure.
There were only 4 reels credited to Nebula, so if they've noticed that, they're going to be watching them, which they are on the side of the venue where they can see all 4. But we still need to actually do submissions, including contact, which you didn't get.
We do a request. We request again. But the Toby can't get to us, and he's offering to. I think I've never seen 3 requests in a row, unfortunately, for Rob. Toby could not get near us. As we do go for a green Purloin. I don't think that was immediately seen, but again, we have no time to do these missions, as we are getting highlighted.
Yeah, we're going to have to get a flare here. It has to be green. We do get that. Now we need to do 2 more missions in the next 10 seconds and not get shot for it. I think this game's pretty much over. Yeah, Rob's just being stared at. Yeah, that's just a shot.
And even then, that wasn't a completion as well. We only have 3 missions. So, Nebula does secure a tie, which is still good. But I guess for the next game, Rob is sometimes just a bit too slow. Of course, that's a bit unfortunate that the Purloin was basically ignored by Toby 2 times. But just a tad bit slow on the spine again, and I just hope for their sake for the last match in the division, at least for him, that they're gonna pick up the pace and get the stuff of Spy wins because I don't want to. That wasn't too inspiring considering this is Grandmaster division.
In the end of red.
Yeah.
But regardless, there's still gonna be a tie, and we have a look at the scoreboard, please. That would be. Yeah, so Nebula currently up top with 9 points. Of course, there's still more matches to play for the other people in the group, as we're gonna see. But yeah, everyone's still super duper close, and at least the top 5 can the top 3 slots can go to any one of those, and that's exciting for the last week's narrative.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And with that, I don't know what the next match is, but I'm not here for it. So bye, guys.
It's gonna be Buffcake versus Stunnerboy. Thank you, Guggy, for casting with us. Guggy's gonna leave us after the first match.
I'm gonna leave now.